Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your boy Eddie, back again for another stream, another video. Alright, we're back here on Canadian jail war stories. Alright, now we're going to start talking about some more of my backstory today. Just give me 1 sec, sorry guys. Gotta close my window. Just had to close my window, guys. And I'm also trying a new setup, so I don't know how good this is gonna be. Forgot to push record. Yeah, so I figured out a way how I could go live because YouTube doesn't let me go live yet. YouTube don't let me go live yet because of I guess you need 1,000 subscribers to monetize your channel and to go live. So I hope y'all want to know we're doing good here on the channel. YouTube sent me an email saying that we hit 500 hours milestone, so that's pretty cool. We've only been up for a month, and there was something else, 500, another milestone. Or no, sorry, it was 50 subscribers milestone. So now we're at 60 something subscribers, guys. We're on path here. I appreciate each and every one of you subscribers, and yeah, we're gonna get right into this backstory. It's okay, this guy, he's a drug dealer. Okay, he's a big drug dealer. This guy, he's about 6'2". He's a bit of an Indian guy. So I'm just trying to give you guys the picture, like pothole marks and stuff. Long brown hair. So his name was Nile. Okay, so no, sorry, Nile's the next story. Sorry, my bad. This guy, I forget this guy's name, okay, because it was so long ago. When I was this story I'm telling you guys was from when I was like 17. Okay, it was one of the first times I went to adult lockup and what I went for. So it's gonna lead. The story's gonna lead up to why I got arrested. Okay, so now I see this guy all the time and everything like that. We had mutual friends and stuff, but like I was known to be a jack boy. Okay, I was known to go around and jack the drug dealers if I didn't have any. If I was down and out and I had no other way to make money, no other way to get drugs or anything like that. It was like you know, there's drug dealers, there's jack boys, and whatever, right? So I was going around robbing all the drug dealers. I had a hard time getting drug dealers to come meet up with me because it was going around the town and the city that, you know, that I robbed drug dealers, so they're kind of like worried to meet with me, right? So long story short, this guy, I see him. He wouldn't meet me because I kept calling him. He wouldn't meet me, but I ended up seeing him. And what happened was he was with like 2 of his homeboys. And I just walked up, like I was known back then. I was crazy back then, okay? I'm not like this anymore, guys. Not like this at all anymore. This is what, like, 10 years in jail will do to you, okay? I lost my whole 20s, okay? Basically, from 15 to, I lost too much of my life. I don't want to be like that no more. But I was a really bad guy back then. So I was known to carry weapons. I was known to carry weapons. I always had a weapon on me. I used to have this little, like, extendable thing. It was like this big, and then when you whip it, it comes out like that. I either have a bat or a... Yeah, you guys seen the bat that I made. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But the bat that I was hitting it against, with the black duct tape, I'd have something like that up my sleeve or whatever. I didn't really carry a gun very often unless I was, like, in a place where I really needed it. But like going around these outskirts of Toronto where they were like in York region and stuff, I didn't need it because like not many people carry guns up there. It's mostly in Toronto, so that's why I would go up there to jack these guys, right? So long story short, I see this guy walking with 2 of his homeboys, and he's wearing a chain like sort of like this, right? Nice big huge long gold chain, right? This one's fake, okay? It's just for show. My real one's underneath under here. You guys have probably seen it. It's a little tiny chain, box chain with my cross on it. Gold's expensive, right? So anyways, so this guy had a long real chain like this, gold. I ran up to him, like I must have socked him, clocked him one. I remember just going, ripping it off his neck like that, right? Because I was known to go up to guys that had long chains and be like, yo man, let me check if that's real. That ain't real, bro. That ain't real. Let me see if it says friggin' what carat is it, yo. To say, if it was silver, I'd be like, it doesn't say 925. Let me see. And I'd look at the link, and as I'm looking at the link, I'd undo the link, so I didn't have to snap it. But this guy wasn't gonna fall for that shit, so I just snapped it off his neck. And this guy's supposed to be this big weed dealer, shroom dealer, ecstasy dealer. Okay? He's supposed to be this big dope dealer around in this town. And all of a sudden, the next day, I'm like out and about, and I get pulled up on by the police and asking me my name and this and that. And I'm like, why are you guys asking me my name for? You know, like, because police were like bad like that back then when I was growing up. I'd be walking in broad daylight, 12 o'clock in the afternoon on the sidewalk, and they'd roll right up to me, what's your name, what's your name? And I guess because like I always had warrants, that's going to be another video, but like I always had warrants because I breached my probation. I never finished my probation, so I'd always take off from my probation. And we'll get into that another time, because there's a video I'm going to make like that I tell you guys about all my breaches. I had like 50 breaches, 50 convictions of like breach recognizance, breach of bail is the same thing as recognizance, breach of probation, all that crap. And yeah, anyway, I'll talk about that in the next video. So yeah, this guy here, man, I couldn't believe that this guy is a dope dealer and he's calling the cops. It's like, you know what, there's anybody can call the cops. There's rats everywhere, man. So my main point of this story is because I was hearing a lot of people online talking about all that kind of stuff about in the hip-hop game and the rap game and stuff. There's a lot of people that are phonies and fakes now that like will just, if they get caught with their homeboys get caught doing anything, that they'll just rat the people out, right? Rat their boys out. And like that makes me sick, because I've actually gone down with, I've actually got arrested with my friends and stuff like that before, and actually took the whole rap for it and said that I did it all and everything like that just so they could go free. So a guy like me that would do something like that just to let my buddies go free, it's like, or they weren't my buddies, it was my cousin actually, but still. Yeah, so it's like rats make me sick. I've done a lot of time because of rats. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how rats get bats. You know how they say snitches get stitches? Well, my motto was rats get bats. Okay? And, yeah, so I ended up getting charged for a robbery, 17 years old, ruining my life, giving me an adult record, because I went in there and I got bailed out right away by my mom. Like the next... After the weekend, they kept me in for the weekend or something, I got bail from my mom. But then I ended up like 3 months later or something breaching it, and got picked up doing something else. And then every time I get arrested, I'd always add on charges, because for some weird reason, I don't know why, I'd never learned my lesson, but the cops would ask me my name and I'd always lie. I'd always lie about my name, and they would always charge me with obstruct police officer, obstruct justice, and this and that, right? It's a charge for lying about your name. So I would get that extra charge, and then sometimes I'd be resisting and fighting with them, and then even if you don't even hit them, you just resist and like try to get away and stuff, they say that's assault police. So I'd always tag on. It got to like a thing where every time I got arrested, it never failed. Lying about my name and assault police would always get added on. So I got robbery added on. Well, no, I had robbery times 2 because I took the guy's wallet also with the money, right? So, yeah, I had robbery times 2, and then the breach of breach of bail, and lying to the police about my name, and assault police. So I ended up with 4 charges when I probably only should have ended up with that one robbery charge. Well, actually, no. Robbery times 2 is 2 convictions, so 2, and then the breach of recog and then the, okay, yeah, so it's like four or five convictions out of that. Robbery times 2, I ended up getting charged with because of this fucking rat. What else was it? I never would have been around the police to lie about my name in the first place, so I consider that the rat's fault too. Even though I always lied about my name, and I've probably been charged with that like 10 times. I never learned my lesson. I finally did now that I don't even go near police anymore. Like, I'm scared to go near police, even though I'm a law-abiding citizen now. I'm so traumatized from so many times getting arrested, and so many times fighting with cops, and so many times going to like jail and in and out and that. It's just like, the other night I went to go out and hit the bat against the tree, and I seen them at the end of the road, and I was just like, whoop, I turned right around and came right in the house. It's just, I don't know. I don't talk to many people, guys. Like, I talk to you guys on YouTube, but I try to keep to myself and stuff like that. That's the only way how I can seem to get out of trouble, and I keep it with my girl. I keep it with my girl. So yeah, I went to jail, and that was my first adult charge, and I went into jail. That was for a robbery times 2. Just a little story there for you guys. Now the next one I'm going to get into right now is, okay, what did I say the next one was going to be? I got a bad memory, guys, sorry. The next one was going to be, probably, might as well do the assault polices and my 2 escape custodies. Or no, should I just save that for another video? Yeah, the 2 escape custodies I'll save for another video, part 1 and 2 for the 2 escapes. I'm still going to do all my charges, so we got a bunch out of the way there. You guys know that I've been charged with robbery and that time with like the 4 or 5 charges, so that's that. And we still got a lot to go, guys. I probably got over 100 convictions, so yeah, so like every time I do my backstory, I'll tell you guys what happened and what the charge was and what jail I went to, and tell you a story about what happened in the jail. Okay, that sounds pretty good. I think so. So yeah, if you just got here, it's a live stream, but I am recording it, so the whole video will be up on the stream. I'm trying something new today, guys, because I can see you guys in the chat. I can see there's 1 viewer right now. It's live, but the thing is, I'm using Streamlabs because YouTube won't let me go live, because obviously you need 1,000 subscribers and a certain amount of hours. I think it's 4,000 hours. But yeah, guys, we're at 500 hours. We got a milestone email from YouTube. That's pretty good within a month, I think. And we're growing slowly but surely, and you guys are the ones that have been here since the very beginning. So I appreciate you guys. And you guys see that I try to get back to each and every one of you, and if I start getting bigger and bigger, I'm still gonna keep trying to get back to you guys, and every week I'll like pick a whole bunch of questions out of the comments and stuff, and then read them out with you guys like on there, go over it with me, because I got the double screen here now. So I'm gonna show you guys my setup quickly. I'll try to be very, very slow with the camera, so it doesn't like give you like motion sickness. Okay, so we got this one here, right? Got the cordless mouse, and then this is this thing actually like turns and stuff. It's actually a really cool, like, look at that, it goes up and stuff like that. And then we got this one up here. So we got that one big. That's actually like a 36-inch TV that I'm using as a monitor. A double monitor, so that's cool, because before I was just using my phone, right? I was just using my my Samsung Galaxy phone, and so now that, yeah, like this is the phone I got, but I don't like always recording it on a little phone. It feels like, I don't know, I can't see the chat or anything like that, and like I think this is pretty cool, a way I can go live until we do get the 1,000 subscribers at least. You know what I mean, guys? So, yeah, I don't know how it works with the live stuff, so I know there's 2 viewers. I can see the chat if you guys want to ask me anything or whatever. It's all good if you don't. If you guys enjoyed that little story, slap your boy a like, and be good, you know, stay out of trouble, stuff like that. Be solid, keep your word, Don't be a snitch. Don't rat out your boys. If you're a dope dealer and somebody robs you, don't run to the feds. And yeah, that's the moral of the story today. And I'll tell you guys, I got a lot of ideas here written down, so you guys are going to get a lot of content this week. I got like 4 or 5 videos written down that I want to do, that I want to touch on. Alright? So, just a sneak peek for you guys that stayed to the end. There's going to be a part 1 and 2, escape custody, when I escape custody. Okay? We're going to do that one next. Either next or the one after. Thanks for the live vid, bro. Yeah, man, for sure, no problem. It's for you guys, man, you know? Is Ontario racially segregated in a way? Ontario, in the pen, in like the prisons, it's racially segregated with like you'll have all the whites with like the Hells Angels in like Collins Bay and Joyceville and stuff like that. You'll have like, those are the 2 main pens in Ontario. Like, because Kingston Pen used to be one, but that turned PC. So they had to make that whole pen PC. So now it's just Collins Bay, Joyceville are the 2 main ones. If people say other ones like Workworth and that, Workworth is a bunch of diddlers and shit, man. A bunch of rats and diddlers. Everyone that's solid goes to the Collins Bay or Joyceville. So, racially segregated, for your question, yes, it's Hells Angels, like the whites stick to their own, and then the Muslims stick to their own. They have their own group, which it used to be the bikers at HAs running the canteen. Now it's the Muslims that run the canteen. And the reason I know this is because my cousin's a Hells Angels, and he did 10 years in Joyceville. So, okay, so he's my older cousin. He's like 10 years older than me. Okay, but I have a picture of him, we look alike, but I'm not going to get into all that right now. Maybe later on down in the channel. He hangs out with Justin Bieber and all that crap. Like, he's Justin Bieber's dad's best buddy, basically, because Justin Bieber's dad's, so, or at least he's friends with them, or whatever. He's friends with my cousin, put it that way. My cousin throws, like, wild parties with freaking sushi-plattered women and stuff. But yeah, for your question, in the jails and stuff like... Oh yeah, okay, so in the prisons, the blacks have their own stuff, like with the Bloods and Crips, I guess they all kind of go together. But in the jails and that, it's like... It's all free-for-all. Like, it's not like that. Like, I was hanging around with all... Like, when I was in all the jails that I've been in, I was... and people say I was really stupid when I did my time, but when I did a lot of the time, I was getting 2 for 1. Right? Which means if you do a year, it's 2 years because it's dead time before you're sentenced. Right? It's called dead time, like pre-trial custody time. And that's in the jails, right? Well, the Don Jail and the West Detention in Toronto are harder, way more harder, and like way worse than a lot of these other pens, like camps and stuff, like level 1s and 2s. Like Joyceville and Collins Bay, that's like on the line of what the Don is like. So it's weird that our jails are really, really bad here, because you got everybody in there and there's no structure, like, you know what I mean? It'll just be all chaos for a power struggle. So when I was in there, I was playing dice with the Bloods, Crips, all that. I was playing poker with them, spades, all that. So that's all I ever hung around with when I was in there, as gang members and stuff, because I like to gamble and I like to play poker. Or no, I more like to play Bidwiz, because poker, everybody starts losing too much money too quick, and it always ends up being a fight. As someone gets their feelings hurt. So Bidwiz is a good thing to play. It's 4 guys, and everybody can put 1 thing in each. So if you do lose, it's like an hour game. If you do lose, you're only losing 1 thing, and then if you win your stuff back. Isn't the Don Jail closed down now? Yeah, the Don Jail's closed down now. When I was in the Don Jail, this is back in friggin' 2009, 10, before it closed. I haven't been in jail for over 6 years, guys. Okay, I did all my time from like when I was like 12 years old, 13 years old, when I first started getting in trouble. I went to a YO facility, and then I stepped it up and went to Tyack, which is really, really bad, which is also closed down. It was a JIT camp. It was really bad. It was like it was almost worse than adult prisons because of the stuff that was going on with these people. Are there booty and punks? Not very many, no. It's looked down upon here. It's really, really looked down upon here. But I have seen it once. I did a video on it. It was a dope dealer and the booty bandit were like best friends, and they used to run kids' tabs up with the dope, and then they can't afford to pay their tab, and they're a fiend, so they take the dope anyway, and then they get in so much debt that the booty bandit was rich, and he would say, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna buy your debt, I'll buy your debt off him, I'll get rid of your debt, and he would literally pay their debt off, and then he would, you're my cellie now kind of thing. Like, it was man, go watch that video if you haven't watched it. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. I didn't know like how this live stream would go because I couldn't go live, so I had to get this thing called Streamlabs. I've been setting it up all day because I don't know much about all that kind of stuff, computers and stuff like that, guys. Even though I've been out for 6 years, like, I don't know about that kind of crap. Like, I can use my phone. Computers, I was never a computer guy. Like, I was never, like, we didn't have computers when I went to school, and I only went to grade 7, you know? Like, the last grade that I actually passed was grade 7. In grade 8, I got kicked out in, like, September, got expelled or whatever. And then in grade 9, same thing. And then I went to a program where you can get 1 credit for working full-time when I was, like, 15. So I was working full-time job so I could pay for my apartment. I was actually renting a room when I was 15 for $500 a month in a crack house. I was renting a room. That's when I was 15. And that was my trap house. Anyways, long story short, like, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry, guys. Oh, cool. And if I'm waiting trial and my sentence is 10 years and I stay 3 years in provincial, would it count as 6? No, like, this was a Mike Harris thing. He took it, when he did all the private prisons here in Ontario, we were getting 2 for 1. So that's how I did a lot of my time. So I avoided going to the pen pretty much a lot because I would get sentenced to 2 years, and I would not sentenced to 2 years, but like they would be asking for 2 years. My lawyer would see what they're asking for. They'd be like, oh, 2 years. So I would sit for the 10, 11 months, 12 months, and then get the 2 for 1. And I did that again so many times, like 18 months counted for 3 years, 20 months count for 40, but that all got cut out, like, probably when I was in my last 2 bids in the Dawn, it didn't have the 2 for 1. I had to do the straight time. I guess once you're sentenced, you get 2/3 or something like that. And then when I was in the West, the very last time that I went in was it was gone by then. So I'd say I know for sure it was gone by 2011. No, because that's when I was in the Dawn. So by like 2009, roughly, like around then, they took it away because guys were getting like charged for murders, right? And they would just go there and they would sit in like these super jails for like 4 years waiting to go to trial and stuff like that. They get their lawyer to keep pushing it over, and then next thing you know, their 4 years is 8 years when they do get sentenced to 15, and then they go to the pen for 7, and then they get out in 4 on parole or 5. So that was the way of like scamming the system kind of thing. And that's how I did a lot of my time too. Each day now is worth 1.5. Yeah. And I remember when Tyack and the Don was so bad and 3 to a cell that guys were complaining to their lawyers, and lawyers were trying to get 3 for 1 back then when it was 2 for 1. Yeah, that was crazy back then, man. I'm just glad that, guys, I'm not into all that crap no more. I'm glad I'm not in those places no more, because that was basically my whole life. I've just finally had a life in the last 6 years. I got a woman and stuff, got my own place. You know, I'm doing... To me, I'm not rich. I consider myself doing good for myself because I have my own place, a little 2-bedroom apartment, you know, that I rent. I don't own it. I rent it out, and been 6 years paying my rent solid, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's responsibility, you know? And that's what, like, I wanted to show people, like, yeah, I turned my whole life around, you know what I mean? Like, I was that guy that was, like, come to the jail and it's like a family reunion. Like, they know me as soon as I walk in the pod, like, yo, Eddie, yo, like, I don't even know who these people are yelling at me through a little hatch like this. It's like, yo, it's me, Pork Chop. Do they have that? Do they have 1.5 day thing in New Brunswick and PEI in Newfoundland and Nova Scotia? I believe it's 2/3 everywhere once you're sentenced, yeah. So it ends up to be 1.5. Once you're sentenced, it's 2/3. So if you get 3 years, you got to do 2 mandatory. Then it's your good time. But if you do things and misconducts and this and that, they can take away your good time if they want to. You know, so it's all on how you act in there if you get your 2/3. It's the mandatory 2/3, right? But they can take it away, like your good time. They can be like, oh, you were in the hole for 60 days, we're going to make you add on 60 days. So you might have to do your, out of your 3 years, say you had to do 2 for 2/3, then you would have to do the 60 days, or whatever they say, you know what I mean? Whatever the punishment is. But a lot of times in the jails, they don't really, when you do get misconducts and stuff, if you get a really, really prick officer, he'll give you the, like the thing where he takes your good time away. But most of the time, being in the hole is a big enough punishment, man, on its own. Like, you've heard stories on these other jail channels in this genre of people going in the hole and stuff like that, and like they can act like, oh, I was all good, I was all tough, this and this and that. But when you're actually in there and you got nothing but your mind and you're in your boxes and you got nothing else and you're just sitting there and time's dragging on like a snail and you just can't get out of your head, it's like, I literally, after like 2 months, I think I was talking to myself. I literally had like 2 or 3 people having full out conversations and everything. Like, I was playing freaking basketball with a fake net. Like, you don't even understand, dude. Like, I must have like carved in a net on the wall on the freaking like toilet paper scrunched up, like, you know, because that's all you have is toilet paper, right? Exposing truth. There's a guy saying he did 10 months for you're sentenced in a minimum security. What? I don't know what that is. I can't see that part of it. Let me see. I want to move this over. Oh, okay, there we go. I couldn't see the whole chat. I could only see half of what you guys were writing. Okay, so exposing the truth. There's a guy on YouTube saying he did 10 months for a 3-year sentence in a minimum security pen. So that means he might have got the 1/6. I don't know. If he's in a camp and it was his first time getting in trouble and he has no violence on his record, supposedly I've heard of people being able to get out on parole on 1/6. It's like a 1 or 2% chance out of 100, you know, that they'll actually give it to you. You have to have no violence, no record, no nothing. So me personally, I've never been able to do stuff like that. Like, even on the places that are like sentence side, they don't even let me go over to the nice side because of my violence. Because like, I got over 100 convictions. I say like at least probably half of them are violent. You know what I mean? Assault police, it's robbery, it's assaults, friggin' assault caused bodily harm, assault with a weapon × 2. Like, it just goes on and on. And I told you guys a few of the charges today in this story, so that's kind of how I'm gonna do it. Mix it up every once in a while, do a few videos of a few fights, and then I'll go back to like a charge and like explain the charge to you guys and how I ended up in the jail and what jail I went to. So that time with that robbery, I ended up going to Lindsay for the very first time where I was. It was Maplehurst and Lindsay were my very first times, besides YO, like Tyack obviously and the YO facility first, right? But for adult jail. It's called After Prison Show. It's called APR. Oh, okay, that thing's called APR, that early parole. Hey, bro, what's up? 416, that's Toronto. Bop, bop. T-Dot. All day, represent. Do they call you Big Sexy in the bin? Yeah, bro, they call me Big Sexy in the bin, dog. Yeah, that's what they call me. No, bro, they don't call me that. They call me Mickey, the Irish bare-knuckle boxer. You know? Trust me, I never turn down no fades, bro. I earned my respect, dog. I'm gonna tell you guys a few stories about my cellies and stuff like that. The next few videos, I got a whole bunch of videos like written down that I want to do for you guys. So you guys are gonna get lots of content this week. I want to tell you guys about a couple cellies I had, and this young kid that ended up coming to my cell. I had to kind of take him under my wing and stuff like that, or else it was his first time in there. He was just gonna get himself hurt bad, you know. And I showed him the ropes. But that's a really good story too. That's a really good story. So yeah, basically this is how the live stream thing works, I guess. It's pretty cool. I guess I gotta edit it and just keep in the part where I'm talking about the story, and this part I'm gonna have to cut it out, I guess, so that way people can actually watch it on the channel. Well, I don't know if they'd want to see me talking to the subscribers, but I don't know. If not, then I'll try to mark it somewhere in the video, like where the ending is, and I'll do my usual, like when the heart starts beating, and my usual like couple picks at the end, and I'll say like, okay, see you later, peace, and then I'll let this talking go on that we've been doing, because I don't want people to have to sit there and be all bored watching it, right? Yes, I got that written down right here about the politics, the jail politics. So I got like, okay, I got meeting a killer, which ended up being a friend of mine. 3 of my cellmates that I want to talk about in different episodes if I can, if it all. Part 1 and 2 of this rats thing. So I have a part 2 coming up of this rat thing as well. Another time. I'm not going to do them back to back, obviously, because you guys will get bored of it. And then about the cops, about me, the 2 escaped custodies. I'm going to do a video about that. I'm going to do a video about what happened on B Block, which was crazy. About me running in the snow, trying to take off from the cops. That's one of the escaped custody things. You guys will get a kick out of that. I'm going to talk about the politics with the gangs and what happens when shit lands on the range. Like, I'm going to talk about what happens when drugs land on the range and stuff like that, how that works here in Ontario. So if you guys want to see that video, smash a like, share the video out, you know, do all that crazy stuff that social media people say to do. And you guys know what it is, man. You guys mean everything to me. I can't do it without my subscribers, so I appreciate you guys coming and enjoying this live with me. And yeah, there'll be way more content to come, alright? Peace. I'm gonna shut it down, boys. Thanks, I appreciate it though. Respect. Shout out to Exposing Truth, Nick Matcham,